Oops, I may have started a fire yesterday. Way too windy today, but we got all of this burnt yesterday, and it had a bunch of foxtail in it and some weeds. I got some more weeds over here that didn't burn very good, but we're going to try to do it. But we're out here checking to see if we can run the disc through it. Part of it is way too muddy, especially over here. Let me turn. Out here in the corn stalks, which was our corn maze last year. And we get it out here, and over here it's in the path. It's not bad. It's not where I would like it, but I'm kind of getting to the point I really need to get some radishes and lettuce and spinach and that stuff done. And it is dry on top. Up here in my wheat patch, I got part of it to burn, but we get over here where I had the weeds taken care of better, and we bush hogged it once. This is actually looking pretty dry. Yes, it's probably not optimum moisture. It's probably a little wet yet to be out here considering it. But I at least got to get a small spot worked up just because. I got to get somewhere to start planting something. So we may be rolling the dice and throwing the disc on the tractor, and first off, see if the tractor will pull the disc, because we've never had the disc hooked to this tractor. And of course, we don't have duals for it yet because we haven't had the tractor that long, but I'm really contemplating hooking it up and at least making a couple passes so I have somewhere to start planting stuff. I don't think it's the right option or the right thing to do, but I'm already behind where I normally am, so we may just try to do it. And of course, I got a new magnet mount that I put together. If we get it going, we're gonna stick the phone on the thing and see if we can't disc a phone today. Hopefully we don't, because if we do disc the phone, you guys probably will never see this. But we're gonna try. The wind's blowing really good. It's showing 60 degrees. We may just have to see how big of a mess we can make. I'm kind of getting to that point. I got to do something, and we got rain. This is Monday, April 1st. No, this isn't an April Fool's joke. We're going to probably try to do something dumb today. We've got rain coming Wednesday. That would let it dry out a little bit to let me till it. Yes, I till. Run the tiller through it and see what it'll do. I hate to just try to come in here and till this because it might be just a hair tough with all the tracks from picking the pumpkins and stuff on it. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's one of them things. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I don't do it today, I have to wait till it dries after the rain Wednesday. And that puts me probably another week behind of where... Another week behind. Because I'm probably already 2-3 weeks behind where I normally am. Most of the rest of the garden is just too wet. It's even wetter than this. It doesn't have the dry dirt showing. Since this is, I wasn't going to put the radishes and stuff here. But I think I had my mind changed for me because this looks like the driest spot I got. Because it's the driest spot I got, it's probably going to go here this year, and we'll have to move some stuff around. Maybe we'll just make a long skinny corn maze and blow it straight along the road and put this stuff behind, and I don't know what we're doing yet. So I had it all in my head, but this isn't what it was, and this is kind of farming, gardening in general. Sometimes you just got to roll with your punches. But I'll probably shut this off and see how big this patch is, how it actually looks walking through it and feels. Because it does still look fairly dry that way compared to most of it. It gets a little wetter up to the top of that hump. That's a little bit wetter up there, but it has a little bit more trash on it So that's probably helping hold the moisture, which is good for that, but bad for this. This is why I like to do fall plowing and put some cover crops in, because then I can get in when I need to. But this was a wet fall. It still isn't fit. It hasn't been fit since September to do anything out in the dirt. It still really probably should wait another day, but I'm hopefully going to get this tilled, let the wind blow across it, let it dry out a little bit. We'll run the tiller through it and maybe it'll look better. I think that's what I've talked myself into. Right or wrong, I think we're going to try at least a couple passes out here. We probably won't go into the weeds too far, because I usually like to try to do 50-foot rows. So we'll start over here at the grass and we'll pace in 50 foot. So we'll probably try to disc about 60 foot or so, and probably a pass up along the grass just to clean it up so it's straightish. And when I come in and till, I'll get it cleared up better. But maybe we'll try to make a pass and assess our mess from there. See you guys in just a bit. Total and utter failure. I thought I turned my phone on, but apparently I took a picture. So I didn't get any video of me actually disking this. It pulled fairly hard. Part of it's not so bad, but part of it's kind of chunky because I should have waited. But hopefully I can get some tilling done tomorrow. Good enough to get some seed in the ground. It's a little wider than I was going to go, but it worked. Since I don't have any footage of the tractor and disc working, I'll take you up and at least show you what we have going on and show you what I used. It's not perfect by any means, but it worked the dirt up good enough that I can get through with the tiller. I'm pretty confident now without overworking the tractor, because it's almost not big enough to run the tiller we have on it. But I'll go give you a view of the tractor, and hopefully we'll be planting stuff tomorrow. I made up here by the greenhouse, and I got it going. I made one pass with it, so hopefully we can get some onions planted, because they'll take a little bit of a frost. Even though it looks like we may be done, you just never know. I live in Iowa. Well, this is my disking setup for right now. We've got the 4020, which is a 1966 4020 with what we do believe is a case loader, because I bought a case loader on a farm sale a few years ago, which is sitting right there just on the other side of that white pickup. You can see the orange, and they pretty well look identical. My favorite part is the notched bracket or frame. Let me get out of the sun. They notched it so you can get the air cleaner in and out, because otherwise there isn't room. I laughed, but it works. Dad got a good deal on it. He's wanted another one for years. And here's our John Deere 220 disc. We usually hook it to our big case, but it's on, or we bought it for disking Mom's CRP for mid-season management, and we pull it with our big case, which is still sitting over there with the bush hog. It needs a little bit of love after using it last summer out there. I think we got a bearing out or something come loose. Got a couple more broke disc blades. It's getting almost to the point it needs all new disc blades. But as cheap as we got the disc, I think we're just going to make do with it. I got to get that one gang up here tore apart and put back together, just because it's loose. This disc blade doesn't bother me too much. I'm not trying to get a perfect seed bed with it. With the 4020, I did not unfold it because I didn't think it would quite go as wet as it is. Our big case pulls it, it works it pretty good folded out in the CRP. But every so often, for our mid-season management, for our mom's mid-season management that we help with, we take it out there, and we bought it because it was a lot quicker than the old, I don't know, it was a 12 or 14 footer. This is supposed to be 20. I've never actually put a tape on it because I didn't care. I just knew it was a lot bigger, which sped that up, because when you're doing 80 acres at once, it takes a little bit with a little disc. This still took an awful long time with it, but definitely needs some love again. But for what we use it for, it was really cheap. I know a lot of actual farmers that really don't care for this particular disc. It is nicknamed the Ridge-O-Matic. I know why, because it does leave some pretty good ridges. But for what we need it for, it's perfect. We never plant in where we disked anyway, so it's not an issue. We always will do something else with it. But this just helps break the stalks up and incorporate it into the dirt better, or the grass and weeds. Because you can see how this is what that looked like on both sides. You can see it was really grassy down there at that end, and not quite as grassy at this end. But it worked it up, so it cut all that stuff up, chunked it up real nice, so we can get it tilled up. It'll work for what we need it for. And that's kind of why we have it. I wish we had a different one, but they're more expensive. So it's one of these. I found this really cheap, comparably, and haven't done a whole lot. We had to put a bearing or two in it, and we've put a couple disc blades on it already. But for the most part, we haven't done any work to it at all. And I don't know how far we went over, how many acres we went over. So far on the CRP alone, we've disked over 200 acres. So it's paid for itself already. It's not the best, but for out there in the bumpy, nasty CRP that we have to be out there, we're probably going to tear stuff up, so we might as well use a cheap disc. It's rough. I wish we had a hair bigger tractor to put it on, because then I think it'd do a little better job, but it's what we own, so we'll make do. So there's the 40/20 and disc. I will do better. I made a bracket, or a mount that's magnetic, so I can put it on and get some footage, because I know I do a little bit of plowing and a little bit of disking, and maybe even when we get the planter out to do the sweet corn, we'll hook it on just because. That, and when we get the old 3300 back out this fall, we will hopefully get some good footage of it again. And the good thing with the magnet, no matter what I do out here, even mowing or whatever, I can stick it to about anything. Make it easy. But everybody have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Make sure if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, you throw them down in the comments. I always like reading them, seeing what everybody else has to say. Talk to you guys later.